Hey everybody, it's Mike from Fishing the Mid-South, and today I am going to show you what I believe is the best catfish bait casting reel under $100. That's not a clickbait title, and it's not a statement I make lightly. For starters, I am not sponsored by the manufacturer. I paid my own money, same price you'd pay, for these reels. There is a discount code in the description, as well as an affiliate link for new customers. The new customer affiliate link will save you $25 off your first purchase of $70 or more. If you do use that link, I strongly suggest using Edge, as I've seen the pop-up not occur on Chrome, which you'll have to put in your email address, and it will send you the code. There's also an 18% off affiliate code in the description. So both of those are going to be there, the link and the code. Okay? Getting all that out of the way, I will receive a commission if you use my code. However, at no point are you obligated to use my code, and I promoted the company long before I had any affiliate codes. My integrity and transparency are very important to me, and I will not risk either. This video is laid out into the following sections. Which reel is it? I'll tell you this up front because I don't do clickbait. What is the criteria used? Which other reels have I tried? What are the pros of this reel? What are the cons of the reel? What are the unknowns? Why this reel specifically? Other reels to consider. How much is it? And the conclusion. Which reel is it? It is the piscifun Chaos Pro size 50. I believe the rest of the video is going to be informative, but I'm not going to make it something you have to watch. If all you want to know was what it was. So here is the reel. This is the Chaos Pro size 50. This is the black color. See, it's got a Catfish logo on it. And I'll go over features and all that fun stuff. Okay, so the requirements. Yours may differ. So these are my requirements in a bait caster for catfishing. There are things I consider to be requirements, and there are features that are nice to have, and there are things I absolutely don't want. First, good quality. So quality is a value proposition. You can surely find better reels at a much higher price. But I'm talking about the value for your money. It needs to be from a company I trust. It has to have smooth and adequate drag. It needs to have a power handle. That's this little guy right here. It needs a bait clicker, and it needs adequate line capacity. So here's the bait clicker. It is improved. We'll go over that later in the video. Which other reels have I tried? Well, I've used the piscifun Chaos XS50 extensively. I've used the Chaos XS60. I like the 50 better. I think it's built better. The 60 does have more line capacity. I've used the Cast King Rover 60. That one was a gift to Davy Jones Locker when I was fishing the Gulf. It went bye-bye. It was not my favorite reel to begin with. I've heard other people talk about how it gets gritty after a very short period of time. I wasn't sad to lose it. The Catfish Pro reel. So the Catfish Pro reel, a couple things I didn't like about it, only has a centrifugal brake with 2 centrifugal brakes, so only 2 little shoes on it. And it also has you have to flip the switch up and down to engage and disengage the spool. The same as the Abu Garcia 7000. I don't like that system. It's just not what I like. I've used the Abu Garcia 5600. That's a little small for catfishing. If you're doing like channel cats and stuff like that, you know, under 10 pounds, they're fine. I've used the Abu Garcia 6500 C3 series, both the Carp Special and the Catfish Special. They're the same reel. It's also a $150 reel. When I bought them on sale, I don't know what they go for now, probably closer to 180. The Abu Garcia 7000. Again, a larger capacity than the 6500 series, but it has that flippy switch to engage and disengage the spool. We use the piscifun Alios 300 and the piscifun Alios 400. Now the Alios 300 has a flipping switch on it, but it does not have a bait clicker. The 400 has a bait clicker and more line capacity and doesn't have a flipping switch. Of those, the Alios 300, 400, and Chaos Pro are the only ones that have a magnetic braking system. The rest of them all have a centrifugal braking system. So what are the pros of this reel? Well, I've done a complete teardown on this reel, and with any luck, I'll put a link in the description because I should do that. I believe the reel is both quality and a good value. So the bait clickers is improved. If you've watched my older videos, this reel has not been out that long, but the bait clicker was significantly quieter. This is the new one. It's got a lot of noise to it. So that's something I like about it. They changed the springs under here, and I've got a video about that too. I've got a lot of videos about these reels. So that's what makes the bait clicker louder. Now, if you order this from piscifun.com, the only reels that they have are the new version. Again, you can't tell by looking at the box. The way you can tell is how it sounds. I don't know if the Amazon stock has sold through yet or not, but the piscifun.com stock did, and they were waiting on these to come in. These are the new ones. So you may or may not get the new one from the Amazon. So there you go. The line capacity. So it's 250 yards of 15-pound mono. Or if you use 40-pound braid, 260 yards. Personally, I like 30-pound mono. I had moved up from 30 to 40-pound mono, but it just doesn't cast as smoothly. So I moved back to 30-pound mono. And that's on any of the reels. It's not something specific to this one. Magnetic braking. So the magnetic brake is right here on the side, and it's adjustable and it has clickies and all that fun stuff, right? And what it does is moves the magnets closer or further away from the spool. No, the spool's not a ferrous metal, and therefore the magnets do not attach to it. It's physics. Go look up why magnetic fields slow things down that are spinning. I've become a big fan of magnetic brakes. First, you adjust on the outside. You have to take the reel apart and adjust the brakes on the inside. Don't have to do that. It also works through more of the cast. So just centrifugal brakes, the spool has to be spinning at a certain speed for the centrifugal nature of it to work. You don't have that problem with the magnetic braking system. So the frame is a beast. Okay, so the frame is, let me find something I can point with. So this is the side plate, this is the side plate. Everything between them is the frame. Okay. It's a beast. It is strong. It is awesome. Another thing, so the reel foot, you see how it's connected in 4 different spots to the actual frame. In the Chaos XS, for instance, they're connected to bars that run across. This is actually part of the frame. It's part of the frame. And it has a level 1 system. This also has 6+1 stainless bearings that are sealed. The Chaos XS has 6 ball bearings as well, 6+1, but 2 of them are right here in the Chaos XS. In the Pro, that's been replaced with the bushing, so it has larger bearings than what were in here, and one was moved to the handle shaft, and one was moved to the spool shaft. Very. What are the cons of this reel? Parts availability is a concern, but isn't. Okay, they simply don't have a huge parts catalog, and whether you can get a replacement part or not is questionable. However, during the warranty period, if they can't provide the parts, in my experience, they'll refund or send you a new reel, whichever they choose. I can't think of the last time I replaced a part on a reel. So when I say that the parts availability isn't that big of an issue, I don't think it is that big of an issue. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If you need things like bearings, those are going to be standard size. There's not a lot on here that I don't think are going to be interoperable between other brands to a degree. Maybe the spool, things like that. So the bait clicker is in an awkward position for some. Okay, so this is a right-handed reel. Bait clicker switch is right here. I've heard people say that they accidentally turn it on or accidentally turn it off while they're reeling. Not that easy to do. And it, like I say, so as the reel's sitting flat on the rod, it's right here. The gear ratio is 5.3 to 1. Now that's pretty standard for this size reel. Things like the Alios series, they have different gear ratios. You can get it with a higher or lower gear rate, whatever you want, right? So spooling the reel, like filling it up with line, it'll give your hand a workout. I personally like a higher gear ratio, but a higher gear ratio also lowers the amount of torque that you can put when you're reeling the fish in. So there's definitely a trade-off. And again, the gear ratio is actually standard for this style and size of reel. Colors. Now this is where you get nitpicky. Okay, so the black version, this is the black version. So the side plates, you can't really tell it, but they're like a kind of a dark gunmetal gray. You don't notice, maybe you can see it here, maybe. So you can see there's a difference here, right? The black version has the Catfish logo as well as the Chaos Pro logo. The black and gold does not, it just has the Chaos Pro. And it will have a gold spool and a gold nut and a gold counterbalance here. The whole handle might be gold, I forget. In any case, it has actually black side plates. So what I'd love to see, since nobody asked me, I'd love to see the black side plates on a black reel, black counterbalance, black nut. I mean, if you can make everything blacked out, that'd be cool. I just think I've seen that combination and it looks good. Not with the nut and the counterbalance, but the rest of the side plates. It looks good. It really does. And it does have like it's got some cutouts here. It's probably a braid ready spool if you get down. Yeah, it's gonna grip. So it's braid ready spool. There you go. As far as color, that's about as nitpicky as you can get on cons, right? So what are the unknowns? The reel is new to the market, right? It's only been out a few months. This was their second shipment, which is why it has the upgraded springs on the bait clicker. Now, while the internals appear to be very similar or even identical to the Chaos XS50, and I have done a teardown and comparison of those, it's on my site, there are differences, okay? Longevity simply has not been proven. That doesn't mean that I think there's going to be a problem. It just means that it hasn't been out long enough. So there's that. I don't expect it to have any issues, and I just haven't used them long-term enough to vouch for their reliability and longevity. So the redesigned bait clicker could possibly, and this is just theory, wear out the gear faster. So the way that the pawl is it comes kind of to a dull point, right? Sometimes they have them and they're bent so that there's a sideways piece to it too. This is going to make contact in one area of that gear. The increased tension of the springs could, and I have not tested this, this is just me guessing. It's possible that it could wear out that gear that's on the end of the spool, which is what makes the bait clicker pawl make the noise. That gear also operates the level wind system, but again, the pawl it comes to a very small contact point on that. I don't think it will interfere with the level wind system at all, even if it does cause a problem with the bait clicker part. And the downside would be, if that occurred, the bait clicker wouldn't be as loud, and eventually could be, pretty much unhearable. But again, that's an unknown and could absolutely not be an issue at all. I mean, if I really cared that much, I could turn the bait clicker on and hook this to a drill and just let it zoom on for hours and see what the damage is. It's not that important. Okay, why this reel specifically? Okay, first off, 6+1 sealed. So there's a difference between sealed and shielded ball bearings. Okay, the shielded bearings are going to be to keep out larger particles. Sealed is supposed to keep out water. So 6+1 sealed stainless steel bearings. None of them are hidden in the reel like in the handle. Putting bearings in the handle is an easy way for reel manufacturers to increase the bearing count without actually providing much added value. Yeah, the handle is going to be a little bit smoother as it rolls around. Big deal. How often is that a problem, right? If you really wanted to, although in piscifun's manual, this is the whole handle is one piece. You take these screws out, you can take this off, and you could replace the bushing with bearings if you had to. So, there you go. The line capacity I talked about, 250 yards of 15-pound mono, 260 yards of 40-pound braid. It has a 25-pound drag on it. I like the clickable drag, your little clicks, yay, clickies. It is a carbon fiber washer system. If I remember correctly, it's 3 carbon fiber and 3 stainless steel washers, but it could be off by 1. It has at least 3, it may have 4. It has a strong power handle. This power handle is pretty much identical, except for the colors and the bushing versus bearings in the Chaos XS. So it's fine. There's no problem there. It has a magnetic brake system, and it's from a company I trust. Other reels to consider. This is about to sound like an ad. It's not supposed to. If you want more line capacity, the Chaos Pro size 60 should be coming out next summer. That's all the information I have on that. Don't know what it's going to look like, what it's going to smell like, what it's going to feel like, what it's going to be made of. I doubt it's going to be made out of Play-Doh, but past that, can't tell you. The piscifun Chaos XS is worth mentioning. But for the $30 price difference, the Chaos Pro is so much worth the upgrade. If you can't afford or justify the price of the Chaos Pro, the Chaos XS is certainly a capable reel. The 60 is larger than the 50. I like the 50 more for the internals. If you're willing to spend $40 more than the Chaos Pro, the piscifun Alios 400 is a beast. I prefer a low-profile baitcaster, so I love the Alios 400. It has a bait clicker, it's got higher line capacity, and it's a low-profile baitcaster, although it does weigh a little bit more. For about $10 more than the Chaos Pro, you can get the Alios 300. It does not have a bait clicker. That's why it was not even considered as, that's one of my requirements. It has a little less line capacity, but low profile bait caster and a higher gear ratio is available. So I know it sounds like I'm pimping piscifun products, but I simply cannot find a better value in a Catfish Baitcaster. That's it. So how much is it? Well, that's a question that should have an easy answer, but it doesn't. So the quick answer is $90, sort of. One thing I don't like about piscifun is their pricing model. The MSRP is $129.99. I've never seen it sell for more than $89.99. They're one of those, this is the price that we never sell it at, and this is the price we sell it at. It's always on sale for $89.99. I've seen it go cheaper than that. piscifun does sales, and they do promo codes. So with my 18% discount code, FTM18, the price will drop from that $89.99 to $73.80 plus tax. Shipping from piscifun is free for, I think, over $50. In conclusion, I'll start by saying I have not tried Ancient Mariner, Mad Cats, Sogalang, Okuma, or Penn baitcasters. Based on the specs and the prices, I have not found a compelling reason to spend my money to try them. I will once again mention the importance of my integrity and transparency before I make a very bold statement. If all of my catfish gear suddenly disappeared and I had to start over, the one round baitcaster I would buy would be the piscifun Chaos Pro, size 50. It's the only size I make right now. The one low-profile baitcaster I would buy would be the piscifun Alios 400. Again, these are Catfish Baitcasters. Let's pause for a minute, let that sink in. Okay? You've seen my equipment. I have the Chaos XS50, the Chaos XS60, the Abu Garcia 6500 C3 series, the Catfish Special, the Carp Special, the Abu Garcia 7000, the Alios 300, and the Alios 400. For catfish specific reels, in my opinion, the best value is the Chaos Pro 50. I prefer the 400, but it's almost twice the cost. And the biggest reason I prefer the 400 is that I prefer a low-profile baitcaster over a round baitcaster. I started off with baitcasters when I was bass fishing, and they're all low profile. That's the reason. So let me answer this another way. If you asked me if I would trade in my Abu Garcia 6500 C3 series reels for the Chaos Pro 50, the answer is no. The reason is that the Abu Garcia costs twice as much, and that's just a bad financial deal. Offer me 2 of these for 1? The answer is yes. How many? You can find a comparison between the Cast King Rover and the piscifun Chaos XS. You can find a comparison between the XS and the Chaos Pro, as well as teardowns of the Chaos King Rover, the Catfish Pro, the Chaos XS, Chaos Pro, the Alios 300, and Alios 400 on my channel. It's out there. If you like content like this, please subscribe. If you found the information helpful, please like the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.